put your controllers down, because I know what you're playing. I know you're playing Elden Ring right now. I know you're playing it. So put it down and tune in to your boy JD, because I got a game that you should be playing instead of Elden Ring. Nah, I'm just playing. You can keep playing Elden Ring and keep dying, but I'm gonna die over here, right? I'm dying over here in this game called Star Wars Jedi Fallen Order. Yes, I gotta talk to you guys about this game. What an amazing product Respawn has put together. Oh man, I just can't wait to talk to you guys about it. Let's get it.
Easy now.
Got a stowaway.
Hey, you don't need to call this in.
Quiet. This is TK-8190. Get over here, intruder.
I recognize that stance. Perhaps you've had some training after all. Who was your master, Padawan? Someone I killed, perhaps?
Apprentice, mark well and listen.
Master.
Trust only in the Force.
Before we get into Jedi Fallen Order, I want to start off by saying thank you all for tuning in and subscribing to the channel. Everybody that tunes in, watch the content, and also hits that like button, right? I'm trying to grow to a thou wow this year. If you don't know what a thou wow is, that's a whole band. And if you don't know what a whole band is, that's a whole rack. If you don't know what a whole rack is, then I don't know what to tell you. Essentially, I just want 1,000 subscribers by the end of this year. I got goals in mind, man. So help me get to that, and I really appreciate it. Let's get into Star Wars Jedi Fallen Order. One might ask, what is Star Wars Jedi Fallen Order? Jedi Fallen Order was made by or developed by Respawn Entertainment, who was published by Electronic Arts, EA Games. I'm gonna go to the Steam page just to give y'all a description of what this game is, or just about this game, because that's where I went to buy the game, and that's where I'm playing it on the PC. A galaxy-spanning adventure awaits in Star Wars Jedi Fallen Order, a new third-person action-adventure title from Respawn Entertainment. This narratively driven single-player game puts you in the role of a Jedi Padawan who narrowly escaped the purge of Order 66 following the events of Episode 3, Revenge of the Sith. On a quest to rebuild the Jedi Order, you must pick up the pieces of your shattered past to complete your training, develop new powerful Force abilities, and master the art of the iconic lightsaber, all while staying one step ahead of the Empire and its deadly Inquisitors. Alright, so we're going to take it back. If you don't know me, I'm very much into concept art. I love the transhumanism aspect, the uncanny valley, the introspective response one might have to the idea of technology and humans evolving simultaneously with one another, in the sense of the reliance of human evolution through technology. Speaking on Jedi Fallen Order, I am a single player gamer, right? I am not much for the multiplayer experience. I'm really much for the sitting down, absorbing the story that's being told to me, the world that I'm going into and trying to live in with this character that's given to me. I'm very much for the single player experience, so I'm pretty selfish, right? I'm selfish in that aspect. Jedi Fallen Order is a single player game made by Respawn, in which, for all intent and purposes, are known for multiplayer games. They make games centered towards multiplayer engagement. But I got a bone to pick with EA about how they just butchered Titanfall 2. That was the first game that they actually had a single player experience that just blew the heads off of everybody that played it, right? In my opinion, it's one of the most underrated campaigns ever. For them to follow that up with this game, it just shows how talented these developers are. I want to always commend every developer that's in the studio putting in that hard work, making these visions, these concepts into realities. And I always want to give the flowers to those who make these games what they are. Respawn, thank you. Now, going back to why I'm playing it, like I said, single player, and I'm in for the immersive experience. Cinematics, right? Cinematics for the Star Wars IP, or just the franchise alone, it was born to be cinematic, right? Because if you know about the history of Star Wars and the design and the artistry behind it, the concepts. ILM, Industrial Loom, what is it? Industrial Lights and Magic. I believe that's what it used to be called, but correct me if I'm wrong. But I'm very much a fan of the concepts that I've seen that came out of that studio that George Lucas, I believe he founded it way back. I want to carry on into why I'm enjoying what I'm playing. Whenever you start off in Fallen Order, you are put into a world where you are surrounded by scavenged parts of broken down starships, right? You're just in an area where they're scavenging parts off of older ships. And that's one thing that I adore about the dystopian concepts, right? The envisions of how it'll be in the future. Because in my opinion, dystopian settings, once said by Mr. Mike Pondsmith himself about cyberpunk, it's not, don't quote me on this, I believe he said something within this realm, cyberpunk wasn't a inspiration. It's not, you know, something to aspire to be. We're not aspiring to be what he envisioned from cyberpunk or the future of the people. He says that it is a warning as to, you know, what is to come. Looking at dystopian settings, you see people are around all of this futuristic technology, all of this advancements in the world, and humans on the other hand, we haven't evolved past our own survival instinct. Referring back to the start of the game, Cal, he is breaking down parts of ships, and as I read, he is a Jedi Padawan. I don't know what a Padawan is, but he's escaped the purge of Order 66. So I don't know anything about the lore of Star Wars, right? And this is all new to me, but I like how I'm being introduced into the story, especially with a supporting character. I won't say his name for spoiler purposes, but man, I find it very effective how Respawn introduced that character and also made you feel something for him, because more times than not, you have games where they throw you into the environment and kind of force you, or, you know, just rig you into trying to feel something for a character just because they're there. It's not very effective in the connection sense. As you move around throughout the yard, the scrap yard in which they're breaking down old ships, there's a lot of gameplay mechanics that are reminiscent of games like Uncharted and Tomb Raider. These games where you're climbing up these structures and walls, and in Star Wars it fits because the machinery, the way everything is designed, it just makes sense, right? That's what I like to commend Respawn with, is the introduction to the traversal mechanics. That was a very good way, a very effective way of getting the player kind of acclimated with what the player is going to get themselves into. Just to sum it up, that first part in the scrapyard was a great build up to where I'm about to head right now, because the second part was, oh my gosh, I loved it, because I am a huge train guy. I love trains. Been loving trains since I was 5 years old. Thomas the Tank Engine, all types of trains. I've loved trains since the start. The second part of the mission has Cal fighting his way or maneuvering his way to the front of a train. And the train, why I love the train, because I first seen a train that looks like this in the film Solo, the film in which, you know, it talks about the life of Han Solo, a very integral character to the Star Wars franchise, or just very widely known character. I seen the train heist part, and ever since then I've always been intrigued, enamored, amazed by the design of it, the believability of it, how it maneuvered, how it was rotating, all the physics, the way that train was constructed always stuck with me. When I decided to play this game and seeing that the first mission has one of those trains in it as well, you got me, Respawn. You totally got me, right? And it's not like you just tacked it on. This whole little section of the train, or this whole little segment of him trying to get to the front of the train, made sense. The way that you had to figure things out and move along the you know, each cart, the train is on a rail. It has a top and a bottom, and he's mostly maneuvering top. So he's moving through the top, insides, you know, through crevices of small places inside the train, climbing here and there. Like I said in the first part, getting you a little acclimated to the traversalness of it. I was just amazed by the placement of some things that you have to find out for yourself, right? This game doesn't hold your hand. You have to find out some things for yourself. That whole little time on the train, not only was I trying to get to the front, but I was also fighting some of the troopers, you know, the Empire. I was like, get out my way, bro. I'm trying to escape you guys, bro. Like, this train don't look like it's going anywhere. So furthering my conversation conversation and impressions of Star Wars Jedi Fallen Order, going to the second planet got me accustomed to what type of enemies and how I was to engage those enemies, how I was to engage the save points, and also meeting characters and learning the lore. I forgot the name of the planet, but it takes place on a greenish planet that has a lot of rock structures. It's very vertical, and the civilization that was once there is gone. And I'm always a sucker for stuff like that, you know, just the fact that throughout time civilizations come and go, how they have their rise and they have their fall. I got to learn some things. You also got to learn some abilities. You get more acclimated with how the game's going to go, you know, from there on out. I'm just making that assumption based off of that, right? But I know for a fact there's going to be a lot more harder bosses to come my way. From what I've played so far, Star Wars Jedi Fallen Order is a game to play, right? It's a game you must play. I believe Star Wars Jedi Fallen Order, if it was to have a name put on it, right, as in like a genre name to somebody kind of to assimilate it to another game. I brought up Elden Ring, and Elden Ring is from Software, the people who made Bloodborne and Dark Souls and Sekiro and Demon Souls. Just that style, I would say the style of the Souls games is synonymous with what Jedi Fallen Order has to offer. I believe that's the style that they were going for. Now, as I read in the description here on the Steam page, the key features, it states it has cinematic immersive combat, essentially diving into what makes the combat immersive, as in, you know, having striking, parrying, force abilities to leverage, but it's very intuitive and you must practice, right? And that's what I got. You have to practice these parry moves. You have to know how to fight against your certain opponents. You can't just go in there just hacking and slashing. You have to know when your opponent does these two moves, then hit you with their final move, right? You got to know how to learn your opponent, and that's what's been so great about the Souls franchises, in my opinion. People die 50 times, 100 times to this one boss, just so they learn and they can come back to that boss and realize, okay, I don't think I can fight him now, but when I get the learning and figuring things out, his ass is grass. You feel me? I believe that's the feeling that I'm getting from Jedi Fallen Order, and I love it because it's fusing that with my love for sci-fi. So yeah, I just want to share with you all my anticipation also as well for the new Star Wars game that's being developed by Respawn. We know that they're making a new one. I'm just hoping we hear something soon on that, maybe May 4th. Star Wars Jedi Fallen Order, I plan on doing live commentary sooner or later. I just love what I'm playing right now. I just want to also thank you guys again for tuning in, everybody for tuning in and watching my content, hitting that like button, also allowing me to be the person that I am online, right? I haven't got that many comments or anything about how I sound yet. I'm trying to work on that. I want to build this up to a bigger platform that I can really utilize for other endeavors down the way. But yeah, this is JD. We'll be playing some more of this game. I'll catch you guys on the flip side, and I am heading out. Peace.